welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the walkthrough on Spycraft. What we're going to do is just set up for the basic first. Now what you're going to have is, really all you're going to need to have is a draw deck including your 4 leaders, and then you have your mission deck, which is going to consist of 24 mission cards. So first thing to do is you're going to go ahead and get your 4 leaders. You just put them in line in front of you. You're going to have these guys right here, and you're going to put them from lowest to highest cost, left to right. You're going to have the you're going to have the cheapest one up, face up, the other 3 face down, like that. Okay. Let me put it up here so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. To your mission deck, now you're both going to bring a full 24 card mission deck, both you and your opposing player. But only one of you will use the mission deck, the other one will set theirs aside, because you only need one mission deck. So whoever's going to use their mission deck, they're the ones that will actually put out the mission, set up the mission area of the game board, of the game area. So I've shuffled it. You're going to go and put them face down. They're going to go in between you and your opponent. So it's the middle line between you and your opponent. You're going to go ahead and put the through this way. You're going to reveal the first 2, and then another 3 that will be face down. Okay, so this is called the mission queue, because both players will act in the turn. It's just a matter of who has initiative. It's kind of like Spycraft. It's kind of like how Versus was, how both players acted in one turn. It was just a matter of who acted first, whoever had the initiative. Same kind of idea with this. So, the way they determine though is whoever has the highest Spycraft. So, out of their what is the highest Spycraft total? So my Spycraft currently is 1. We'll assume that he has a higher Spycraft, he'd go first. But again, we're both acting in a turn, just he goes first. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and draw a starting hand of 7 cards, and the hand size in Spycraft is 7 cards. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. So you have 2 phases of the game. You have an intel phase and a debriefing phase. Okay? So there's a number of different actions in a given turn that you can do when it's that primary phase, or the intel phase. So one you can do is you can recruit an agent, you can requisition a gear, you can perform an intel action on a card that's already in play, or you can play an intel action card from your hand, you can brief a leader, discard a mission, or run a mission. So you have 7 different options of different actions. And you can do as many of those as you can do, or as few as you want to do in a given turn. So that is something that's really a lot of fluid to you as a player. Say he chose not to do anything, let's say it goes to me. So what I'm going to do is, as an intel action, I can play a card face down from my hand as an inactive agent. And you can do this any number of times per turn, so you're not limited to once per turn on that. So I'm going to play Reno as a face down inactive agent. Now when you put them face down, you don't have to pay that recruiting cost until you actually activate them. So as I mentioned in my video, this is the face down kind of espionage part of the game that's really exciting and really addictive. So, you know, I can put down as many inactive agents as I want, you know, and I only have to worry about paying for them when I activate them. So think about, you know, having these sleeper agents, or these agents that aren't called in action until they're actually called in, and then they really get active. So it's really really flavorful in that regard. So I'm going to put down 1 agent as an inactive agent. Now I think I am going to requisition a gear. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the Proteus package on this on Rosario. That's inactive for an intel action. I'm going to go ahead and do brief a leader. That's another action you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Right, so I can put a number of tokens equal to my expense rating, so he has an expense of 4. Okay, for briefing leader, so the expense is 4. So I would put 4 tokens onto this next leader. I don't have tokens with me, so I'm just going to have to remember that I've done that once. So he's got 4. I am going to go ahead and discard Flight of the Intruder. So if you discard a mission, you're going to go ahead and, so we'll put that over here, just as discarded. Actually, I do need to pull this up. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to discard that. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead and move these up, because you're always going to have 5 in there, so the top one gets here to replace it. You're going to replace that top one with that, like so. And then you're going to flip over the one that was just added there. So we now have Manhunt at Carnival. So I've done every action I can do in the intel phase. So that's an example of a turn. I did everything I could do there, except for running a mission. The only thing I didn't do. We now do the debrief phase because I've done every action that I could do. I can't run a mission. Each player then gets to draw 5 cards. If you have more than 7 cards, then they discard cards down to the maximum. So another turn. So let's do it's another turn. Let's say he decides to go ahead and say he thinks this is too high to deal with right now. So let's see, he goes ahead and plays an agent, goes to the different actions, and one of them is to go ahead and get rid of this one because he doesn't think that that's going to work. So he does that for one of his intel actions. As a result, we refill the queue, and then we show this one off as the new one in the queue. Okay. Now it comes back to me, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal the character. Now because I'm revealing the character, I'm doing that as a trigger to make sure that we go first as much as possible. Because I revealed the character, as a trigger I need to pay for it. I have +1 for activating agents with a Captain Eckhart as my leader. That gives me a 5, but she's 9, so I'm off by 4. But I'm discarding this card, as you can see here, which has a bravado 4. Because you discard the bravado, that provides the 4 missing points. So I am able to activate her, and she's now active, and we are able to start. So I'm going to go ahead and put a card down here. She's going to requisition gear. I have no other agents to requisition. Okay, so I am now going to go on ahead, and for an intel action as well, I'm going to go ahead and brief the leader. I've done it once before, so I'm going to do it again for another 4, but she costs 7. So what that means with the leader is that I will be able to go ahead and activate her whenever I need to as a trigger. So she's ready to be activated. I don't need to activate her right now, so I'm not going to worry about her right now. And I'm going to actually do an intel action from my card, from my hand. I'm going to play Stakeout. Now I have to meet an Intel Craft 7, which I do have because Rena is a 6, and I have a 1 from Captain Eckhart, so that's a total of 7 for the craft. Now, if he has any card to play to lower my craft target number or what I'm meeting so far, he could play that to reduce it, and I'd have to play other cards. We're assuming that he doesn't have anything, so this is successful, and that forces him that he has to, I'm going to be able to see his hand first actually. I look at it, and let's say he has a really good hand, a hand that I don't want to deal with. The beauty of this card is I can now say go ahead and discard all the cards in your hand and draw a new hand of 7, a new hand of cards. So he's going to go ahead and discard and draw the same number that he discarded. So I'm going to play that so that he has to lose the cards in his hand. So I'm going to go ahead and assign both of these to the Surveillance of Marcellus. Now this is an Intrigue public, and I do have to have a Charisma of 2 higher than the opposing agent. So I'm running a mission. And so every player on the left is now going to have the chance to go ahead and see if they want to defend against it. And I only have one opponent in this game, so we're going to assume that he does want to defend. He's going to bring someone in, with Charisma to try and beat me out. Let's see, he has 3 Charisma, so right now I'm not beating him by 1 right now. He's got me cut off by 1, so I'm not beating him as of right now because he has a total of 3 that he's brought in, Charisma. So far I'm not winning it. Now I do have to expose one of my agents. I'm going to go ahead and expose Captain Eckhart. And in this game, exposed doesn't automatically do anything. Exposed is simply a status, and other cards play off of exposed agents. So by itself, it doesn't mean anything really, except that other cards could play off of that, and so you do want to try and avoid that if you can. So I'll expose Captain Eckhart, and an agent, when they're exposed, remains exposed until you play some card that gets them out of being exposed. So he is exposed, but we're going to go through it. Now, at this point in time, this agent does have an expensive 9, and I'm going to go ahead now trigger and reveal a card. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger and reveal her Designer Pheromones, which gives her a +4 Charisma. She is now a 6. So she is now a 6 Charisma, and that did cost all of her points. So I can't, buy anything or reveal anything else. But she now has a 6 Charisma. So now we now have a total of 6 plus 2. We have a total of 8 Charisma versus their 3. So that means that we are 5 over there. So we are Charisma +5 right now. And so right now we are in the lead because of her pheromones that she activated. So we are definitely doing very, very good. He can't do anything about it. So since he's played all the cards, revealed all the cards that he can reveal, and I've done mine, then we all pass on what we can do. I pass, he passes. So that's the end of it. We now look to see if we've met the mission goals. Like I said, my Charisma, because of these 2 and her pheromones, is Charisma +5. So that means that I make it. So because we made that, I did win, and because the fact that I won, the defender now has to expose all of his agents. So now all of his agents have the exposed status. And so until he can fix that, they're all exposed. We win. So these now come back. These agents now come back to HQ. I got this mission, so we just put it to the side. Just put it there, put it to the side. Or I'll just put it here. Again, showing what I've won. So I now have 5 points. We're going to go ahead and fill this up. So that is going to fill up. And then that is going to go ahead and be revealed. And so we now have R&R interrupted. Okay. So now debrief phase, we're going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so again, same thing. We gotta decide which to get rid of. And that's it. You just run through those kind of same actions. Again, you have a number of different multiple intel actions per turn, but as you can see, that's a basic turn flow example for you. So what we're looking at on a game of Spycraft. Again, it's very much that hidden feel and that sudden reveal that really gets the exciting aspect of the espionage world, and it really brings it to life, as you can see. And the game isn't very long. I mean, I have 15 points already, and so that is something that I'm 5 points away from winning already. So it's not a long game. It goes really quick, and it's just a really fun experience. Now, the one thing with running a mission option is if every other player has run a mission, you cannot that turn. So it's especially the sort of the give it take and timing just right on a 2-player game, because if your opponent runs a mission, you can't run a mission that turn. You can always oppose a run a mission, but you can't on your turn actively run a mission if the opponent has. So again, that's one caveat. You can't run a mission if every other opposing player has run a mission that turn. So it's kind of a race in a way, and you sort of have to time it just right. Man, I hope that helps. I hope that really gives a flair of the game to everybody, and I hope everyone enjoyed that. Again, I'll be doing a full game with a friend of mine that you guys can see and watch, and hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more videos, and appreciate your viewership. Thank you very much.